The man who single handedly challenged the very fabric of society, transformed how people thought about existence, and laid out a clear path to enlightenment for anyone willing to walk it. Siddharth Gautam, renowned as the Buddha, meaning the enlightened one. He was no ordinary spiritual leader, but a revolutionary whose ideas shaped and continue to shape the lives of millions for over 2500 years, impacting not just India but the entire world. Buddha wasn't about mysticism wrapped in secrecy. Unlike other traditions that kept spiritual knowledge hidden or exclusive, he made complex spiritual ideas accessible to the masses, focusing solely on one thing: the pursuit of enlightenment. His genius lay in simplifying the profound and offering humanity a step by step path to freedom from suffering. A teaching that is logical, clear, and free from the frills of ego driven spiritual mastery. His message wasn't cloaked in rituals or esoteric teachings. It was a call to action for three simple things. First was to live a life of dharma, which meant the right thing to do as a human, and not sectarianism as understood in the modern language. Second was curiosity and constant inquiry. And finally, taking the responsibility for personal transformation. Through his teachings on mindfulness and compassion, he did not merely change individuals but transformed the entire world, one person at a time. His message resonated with everyone and became a way of life, remaining as relevant today as it was millennia ago. But how did this prince turned sage become the spiritual genius who redefined the meaning of human existence? Well, the first reason was his revolutionary mind. Buddha wasn't content accepting the traditions he was born into. He questioned everything, every belief, every ritual, every norm. In a time when society was sinking into blind faith, he sought logic, reason, and direct experience. He urged his followers not to believe in something just because it was written in a scripture or taught by a teacher, even himself. Instead, he encouraged them to test everything against their own experience and inner wisdom. This was radical. This was dangerous. And yet, it was the key to unlocking a deeper understanding of life. Buddha's path was one of relentless curiosity. He tried various extreme methods: starvation, physical deprivation, and rigorous meditation. But it wasn't until he sat under the Bodhi tree, vowing not to rise until he had the answers to life's greatest mysteries, that he attained the ultimate truth. What he discovered would echo through history: the Noble Eightfold Path, a guide to living a balanced, ethical, and mindful life. His first sermon to his 5 former companions in Sarnath wasn't just an introduction to a new way of thinking. It was a masterclass in spiritual revolution. All 5 of these seekers reached liberation, proving that his path worked for anyone willing to follow it. The second reason was his focus on the teachings rather than the teacher. Buddha's brilliance extended beyond philosophy. Even on his deathbed, Buddha's commitment to sharing wisdom was unyielding. In his final moments, he continued to teach, delivering his last sermon to a visitor before entering Mahaparinirvana, the ultimate release from the cycle of birth and death. A heartwarming story about his last moments is that the sal trees between which his body was kept bloomed out of season, their flowers covering his body. It was a nature's way of bowing to him. Buddha understood that humans tend to cling to symbols, seeking comfort in the tangible rather than confronting the intangible truths of existence. That's why he discouraged the worship of his image, insisting that only the path to enlightenment mattered, but gave instructions on how his remains should become relics to inspire others. His relics, scattered across the world, are not just remnants of a great teacher, they are sparks, igniting the flame of enlightenment in those who seek it. With time, statues and paintings of Buddha also emerged, serving as a bridge for those who needed something concrete to connect with. These icons, however, aren't about deity worship. They are reminders of the profound wisdom he left behind, urging us to walk the path. The third reason was his inclusivity, especially regarding women. In an era where women were largely confined to home and excluded from spiritual pursuits, Buddha broke the norms by welcoming women into the spiritual fold, even though with a little reluctance initially. His decision to enable women to join the monastic order was revolutionary, and his first cousin and close attendant Ananda had a huge role in it. By doing so, Buddha demonstrated that the path to enlightenment was for all, regardless of gender. Knowingly or otherwise, this wasn't just an act of compassion, but a bold statement that women possess the same spiritual potential as men. His teachings gave women the tools to rise above the social limitations placed on them, the stories of which are also mentioned in Therigatha. Therigatha is a collection of biographical poems written by elderly enlightened nuns. Nuns in Buddha's time, such as his aunt Mahapajapati Gautami, became powerful teachers and spiritual guides, breaking barriers and laying the groundwork for gender equality in the spiritual domain. Buddha's inclusiveness was not only ahead of his time, but a testament to his deep understanding of human potential, free from the constraints of societal rules. The fourth reason was his approach to God. One of the boldest and most controversial aspects of Buddha's genius was his silence on the question of God. He didn't deny the existence of a higher power, but he knew that speculation about the divine would not alleviate human suffering. Instead, Buddha focused on the here and now, the tangible reality of human misery. His teachings impart people to seek liberation not through some divine intervention, but through self-efforts. This was a revolutionary idea, a path of personal responsibility, where salvation lies not in prayers but in mindful living. Buddhism challenges us to rethink the very notion of spirituality. In a world filled with religious dogma, Buddha urged free inquiry. He invited his followers to question, to doubt, to investigate, and only then to accept or reject. This approach shattered the conventional understanding of religion as something fixed and unquestionable. His message was simple yet profound. You must discover the truth yourself. The fifth reason was his interpretation of karma, not as some mystical tally of good and bad deeds, but as a natural law of cause and effect. Our actions shape our future experiences, both in this life and beyond. But the most striking part of Buddha's teaching on karma was his view of the self, or more accurately, the non-self. There is no permanent, unchanging soul, no fixed identity. We are rapidly shifting bundles of thoughts, emotions, and experiences, and clinging to a false sense of self is the root of suffering. To find true freedom, we must let go of our ego and accept the ever-changing flow of existence. This concept of anatta or non-self is one of the most liberating ideas in spiritual history, offering a path to peace through a deep understanding of the impermanence of all things. The sixth reason was his emphasis on direct experience. Buddha didn't just preach, he wanted people to experience the truth for themselves. His emphasis on meditation and mindfulness wasn't a mere technique. It was the gateway to direct insight, the highest form of knowledge. He urged his followers to observe their minds, to cut through illusions, and to discover reality as it truly is. The ultimate truth, he said, is beyond words, beyond beliefs, and can only be known through personal experience. This approach practical, experiential, and free of dogma is what makes Buddha's teachings timeless. It doesn't matter if you believe in God or not. Buddha's path is universal because it is rooted in the human condition and offers practical solutions to the universal problem of suffering. And finally, the seventh reason, and that is the teaching of going beyond sensations. Modern spiritual practices often focus on momentary bursts of pleasure or sensation. Buddha, however, warned against being swayed by fleeting experiences. True insight, he taught, comes not from chasing exhilarating sensations but from calmly observing them, whether they are pleasant or painful, without any craving or aversion. This composure leads to ultimate truth, Nibbana, a state beyond all sensations. Even today, Buddha's genius reverberates through the teachings, practices, and principles that continue to guide millions. His legacy reminds us of the power of questioning, seeking, and transforming ourselves. His final words, "Be a lamp unto yourself," is a profound call to personal empowerment, an invitation to trust our inner wisdom and walk the path of enlightenment with open eyes and an open heart. In a world overwhelmed by rituals, symbols, and quick fixes, his teachings provide something far more valuable, a clear, practical path to ultimate freedom. His revolution wasn't about changing the world around us, but transforming the world within. So, as we close, remember the journey to freedom begins with you. Walk the path of courage and let your inner light guide the way. Thank you for being part of this exploration. Please like, comment, and subscribe so I can continue bringing you more fascinating topics. Stay curious, remain mindful, and always seek the light within. I am Soumya, and I look forward to our next adventure together.